Saya Rozman dan ini Niaga Awani. Kita mulakan dengan perkembangan ini terlebih dahulu dengan Perdana Menteri Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim berkata kerajaan komited untuk terus memperkasa perusahaan kecil dan sederhana PKS melalui pelbagai inisiatif. Dalam perkongsian di media sosial, beliau berkata antara inisiatif tersebut termasuk jaminan tambahan, kemudahan pembiayaan serta sokongan bagi memperkukuh inovasi dan pendigitalan.
Beliau berkata langkah ini penting bagi memastikan Malaysia mencapai aspirasinya untuk kekal sebagai hub pelaburan yang diyakini di rantau ini. Ia juga bagi memastikan perusahaan tempatan dan syarikat pemula tidak ketinggalan dalam arus pembangunan ekonomi global. Ujar beliau kerajaan mahu melihat PKS tempatan lebih berdaya saing di pasaran antarabangsa dan harus diingat bahawa haluan masa depan mesti berpaksikan teknologi, kelestarian dan keterangkuman untuk terus berjaya. Selain itu, Anwar yang juga Menteri Kewangan turut menyeru PKS agar tidak alpa kerana transformasi digital, kecerdasan buatan AI dan automasi bukan lagi satu kemewahan tetapi telah menjadi keperluan utama yang akan menentukan daya saing dan kemajuan negara pada masa hadapan. Anwar sebelum itu merasmikan sidang kemuncak di HL Go Trade 2025 yang dianjurkan buat pertama kali di luar Jerman oleh DHL Express dengan kerjasama Perbadanan Pembangunan Perdagangan Luar Malaysia, Matrade. Sidang kemuncak itu menghimpunkan pelbagai pihak daripada sektor awam dan swasta bagi membincangkan pertumbuhan ekonomi yang mampan dan inklusif melalui perdagangan dan penekanan khusus terhadap usaha menyokong perusahaan mikro kecil dan sederhana PMKS untuk berdagang secara lebih cekap di peringkat antarabangsa.
Malaysia mencatat peningkatan menyeluruh dalam keterangkuman kewangan menurut laporan terkini Indeks Keterangkuman Kewangan Global oleh Principal yang dijalankan bersama Centre for Economics and Business Research CEBR. Laporan itu menunjukkan Malaysia berada di kedudukan ke-26 daripada 42 negara yang dinilai dengan peningkatan dalam ketiga-tiga dimensi utama indeks iaitu sokongan kerajaan, akses kepada perkhidmatan kewangan dan literasi kewangan.
Dalam laporan diterbitkan Principal Financial Group pada Selasa, kemajuan ini didorong oleh pelbagai inisiatif kerajaan termasuk program pendidikan kewangan, perluasan akses digital kepada perkhidmatan kewangan serta sokongan terhadap perusahaan kecil dan sederhana PKS dan golongan berpendapatan rendah. Ketua Pegawai Eksekutif Principal Malaysia, Munirah Khairuddin berkata, pencapaian ini mencerminkan komitmen negara dalam memperkukuh ekosistem kewangan yang inklusif dan mampan. Ujarnya Malaysia menunjukkan prestasi kukuh dalam aspek sokongan dasar dan infrastruktur kewangan sekaligus membolehkan lebih ramai rakyat mendapat akses kepada perkhidmatan kewangan yang relevan. Beliau turut menekankan bahawa keterangkuman kewangan bukan sahaja penting untuk pertumbuhan ekonomi, malah menjadi asas kepada kesejahteraan sosial dan pembangunan negara secara menyeluruh. Indeks tersebut turut menekankan kepentingan kerjasama antara sektor awam dan swasta dalam memperluas keterangkuman kewangan, terutamanya dalam menghadapi cabaran ekonomi global dan ketidaktentuan pasaran. Dalam laporan sama, Principal menyatakan bahawa sokongan majikan di Malaysia naik 0.8 mata dari tahun ke tahun, manakala sokongan kerajaan serta sistem kewangan masing-masing bertambah sebanyak 0.7 mata dan 0.1 mata. Sokongan majikan secara amnya telah perlahan di seluruh dunia tahun ini disebabkan oleh tekanan ekonomi dan perniagaan, tetapi Malaysia tidak mengikut trend itu, sebaliknya melompat 7 tingkat untuk berada di tangga ke-7 dalam senarai global.
Dalam pembentangan Belanjawan 2026, Perdana Menteri mengumumkan pindaan kepada Akta Perlindungan Pengguna 1999 untuk memasukkan elemen Lemon Law, satu undang-undang yang memberi hak kepada pengguna untuk menuntut pembaikan, pergantian atau bayaran balik jika kenderaan yang dibeli mengalami kerosakan berulang walaupun telah diperbaiki. Malaysia mencatatkan lebih 1,600 aduan berkaitan kenderaan rosak dalam tempoh 5 tahun terakhir. Ramai pengguna terpaksa menanggung bayaran bulanan pinjaman walaupun kenderaan tersadai di pusat servis. Dengan kemasukan EV dan teknologi otomotif baru, risiko kerosakan teknikal semakin meningkat. Maka persoalannya, adakah lemon law ini cukup kukuh untuk melindungi pengguna dan bagaimana ia boleh dilaksanakan secara berkesan? Dengan itu kita mempersilakan tetamu yang sudah bersedia untuk bantu kita mengenai situasi ini adalah Syamsul Yunus, penganalisis otomotif. Saya nak ucapkan terima kasih Syamsul kerana sudi meluangkan masa bersama kami. Berdasarkan Belanjawan 2026, lemon law akan dimasukkan ke dalam Akta Perlindungan Pengguna. Dari sudut praktikal, apa antara cabaran utama terutama dalam pelaksanaannya?
Okey, cabaran utama pelaksanaan lemon law ni yang kita dah lihat yang sudah dilaksanakan di tempat-tempat lain ialah berapa kali you nak bagi syarat-syarat lah. Maksudnya syarat nak declare sesuatu kereta tu sebagai lemon supaya manufacturer akan either return your money ataupun bagikan ganti dengan kenderaan yang baru. Syarat tu yang paling penting sekali. So, sebab adakah ianya memerlukan kerosakan dari segi fungsional, tahap mana dan berapa kali peluang akan diberikan kepada the manufacturer dengan the service center tu untuk cuba memperbaiki produk tersebut. Ini akan menjadi satu dia punya isu utamalah.
Dan itu adalah antara isu utama. Namun adakah undang-undang sedia ada seperti waranti dan tribunal pengguna sudah mencukupi atau terlalu lemah untuk melindungi pembeli kereta zaman sekarang ini? Bagaimana?
Yang ada tu saya rasa tak cukup kuatlah untuk memastikan yang manufacturer akan dipaksa untuk mengganti kenderaan. Sebab memang kereta memang kalau kita beli bukannya ada kereta yang perfect, mesti akan ada masalah besar ataupun kecil. Jadi ceritanya sekarang is about the definition tentang kerugian ataupun kesengsaraan yang dialami oleh pengguna. Terutama sekali bila kita dah masuk ke zaman sekarang ni di mana dalam kereta tu terdapat banyak komponen elektronik yang mungkin kita tak boleh nak baiki cara lain kecuali hanya dengan menghadap pusat servis yang bertauliah. Kalau kata kereta tu ataupun produk tu mudah untuk kita perbaiki dan ada cara-cara lain untuk kita perbaiki, mungkin di apa yang ada sekarang ni sesuai lah lagi boleh digunakan. Tetapi apabila produk sudah semakin kompleks dan terlalu banyak benda yang kita tidak ada akses pun untuk memperbaikinya, jadi kena ada satu peraturan yang orang kata cukup kuat dan cukup jelas untuk menyatakan sekiranya sesuatu produk tu macam di setengah-setengah negara dia ada had hari. Berapa hari produk itu tidak boleh digunakan. Maksudnya kereta tu sangkut dekat workshop sekian banyak hari dan dalam tempoh setahun pertama contohnya katalah 60 hari ke 30 hari ke dan itu dah dikira sebagai lemon. Jadi you kena ganti. Tak kiralah apa pun alasannya. Ataupun jika produk tu masuk untuk cuba diperbaiki sebanyak 3 kali dan dalam tempoh sekian lama dan benda tu akan memang terpaksa dikira sebagai lemon lah. Dan ini benda-benda ni yang sebenarnya sesuatu yang kita tak pernah nampak sebelum ni dan banyak syarikat kereta obviously tak nak lah bagi balik duit sebab bukan saja masalah benda tu very big purchase, juga disebabkan benda tu berkait dengan peraturan yang melibatkan hutang per kereta tersebut, loan yang kita ambil.
Dan kita lihat juga itu adalah antara kebimbangan loan yang kita ambil dan ramai pengguna juga terpaksa membayar pinjaman bulanan walaupun kereta rosak dan tidak boleh digunakan. Jadi bagaimana lemon law ini boleh ditangani isu ini secara tuntas? Sudah tentu kita sebagai pengguna ingin memahami bagaimanakah satu perundangan ini dapat melindungi kita, tapi bagaimana sekiranya dilaksanakan sebarang bentuk masalah yang akan dihadapi pada masa akan datang, bagaimana lemon law datang menyelamatkannya?
So itulah kiranya masa dia orang nak draftkan lemon law ni, dia kan ada beberapa komponen lah, antara termasuk komponen tu adakah kita boleh ada some kind of supplementary ataupun intermediate relief. Sekiranya kalau contohnya kita dapat kereta tu dan terus dalam sebulan dua dah mula rosak, apakah syarat-syarat untuk mungkin penggantungan pembayaran, sampai tahap mana berlakunya permasalahan ni kita boleh minta kepada bank untuk mendapat penangguhan lah pembayaran sampai masalah diselesaikan. So elemen-elemen macam itu kena ada lah dalam undang-undang baru ni. Saya rasa sebab kebanyakan kereta yang kita beli semuanya melalui pinjaman bank dan the hire purchase punya act pun ada certain things yang akan paksa kita kena bayar, dia bukan ada relief. So kat dalam mungkin dalam Akta Perlindungan Pengguna ni kena ada provide certain kind of relief daripada that monthly payment provided ada certain conditions are met. Dan juga apabila contohlah katalah kita dah dapat menepati semua syarat-syarat lemon, kemudian kita nak dapatkan kenderaan baru ataupun nak diberikan wang balik lah. So dekat situ pun ada permasalahan juga sebab documentation untuk pinjaman tadi dah pun ada dan dah pun wujud. Jadi hutang tu sudah wujud dan perlu diselesaikan. Saya ada dengar kes di mana memang manufacturer tempatan ni dia nak bagi balik kereta tu ataupun nak gantikan dengan kereta baru, tetapi memerlukan masa berbulan-bulan untuk menyelesaikan masalah documentation dengan bank, sebab bank sekarang ada hak atas kereta tu dan ada hutang sekian banyak. Jadi macam mana nak selesaikan hutang tersebut, siapa yang nak selesaikan hutang tersebut, dan macam mana nak lepaskan VIN number kenderaan tadi tu daripada hutang tersebut so that the manufacturer boleh lepaskan si peminjam tadi tu daripada hutang tersebut nak bagi kenderaan baru. Dan macam mana nak transfer pula hutang tadi tu ke kenderaan baru. So banyak benda sebenarnya yang perlu difikirkan dan it's not going to be something yang mudah lah untuk diorang nak draftkan undang-undang ni.
So tentu bukan mudah, banyak perkara yang perlu dipertimbangkan seperti yang Syamsul kongsikan. Lebih-lebih lagi dengan kita lihat dengan kemasukan EV yang banyak terutamanya daripada China, Eropah. Kita nak lihat juga adakah lemon law ni perlu merangkumi isu-isu teknikal seperti bateri, sistem pengecasan dan juga perisian. Bagaimana pandangan Syamsul melihat pada perkara ini? Sudah tentu kita ingin melihat lemon law ni bukan sahaja undang-undang yang dapat melindungi kita dan kenal pasti apakah permasalahan yang perlu diatasi dengan segera, tetapi paling penting sekali ialah kita harus memastikan perundangan ini fleksibel, dapat menangani permasalahan-permasalahan ataupun trend-trend masalah yang akan datang, terutamanya apabila kita bercakap mengenai industri otomotif ini, Syamsul.
So, apa yang perkataan yang tadi saya rasa paling penting ialah flexibility lah. So, dekat situ bila kita nak menghasilkan satu peraturan atau undang-undang yang fleksibel ni, so dia punya wording tu penting dia tak terlalu teliti sangat ataupun tidak terlalu memecahkan kategori terlalu banyak. So dia macam jaring. Jaring ni kalau lagi halus, jaring tu lagi banyak loophole. So sama juga macam undang-undang ni. Jadi dia kena ada satu cara untuk kita word the law so that dia boleh cover semua aspek tetapi ada flexibility. Sebagai contohnya tadi bila you sebut tentang kereta elektrik, kita tahu dia ada komponen yang mechanical, dia ada komponen elektronik dan juga ada komponen software. Jadi kat mana, macam mana kita nak katakan nak catch all, what kind of catch all phrase kita boleh gunakan yang still has that flexibility. Should we define it by functionality? Should we define it by some kind of physical feature? Macam mana kita nak define kerosakan tersebut? So kat sinilah di mana saya rasa kebijaksanaan pihak mereka yang membuat undang-undang kita ni kena digunakan semaksimumnya. Dan kalau boleh mereka kenalah berbincanglah. Obviously they will discuss with the automotive industry nak cover macam mana nak cover these problems yang akan arise dengan this new electric cars. Kalau kita tengok electric cars sekarang pun dia punya warranty pun sangat kompleks juga. Ada yang bagi warranty tambahan untuk motor dan bateri dan ada yang bagi warranty lifetime untuk certain komponen untuk certain number of people saja. Dan then there is other kind of things di mana you ada over-the-air update. So kalau kata ada failure in software, should it be a kind of a different kind of thing that you kena tengok sebab dia boleh do over-the-air update. Dan kalau over-the-air update pun tak boleh selesai, berapa kali you nak bagi dia gunakan over-the-air update tersebut. Dan kalau kereta tu walaupun dia kata ada over-the-air update tapi function tu menyebabkan kereta tak boleh dipakai tapi kereta ada di rumah, bukan ada di workshop, macam mana kita akan kira tu sebagai hari, number of days the cars cannot be used ataupun ada macam mana cara kita nak selesaikan benda ni. So these are things yang memang kita tahu akan jadi masalah. So kita nak look forward jugalah tu dia orang punya orang kata session dengan industri otomotif, how they're going to discuss about the future of the car sebab the nature of the car is also changing quite dramatically. Kalau dulu kereta tu mungkin kita kata 80-90% komponen dia adalah mechanical, sekarang dia punya komponen dah mungkin bergerak menjadi komponen elektronik dan so many more components and functionality adalah komponen software. So dekat situlah di mana mungkin kena draw expertise from the electronics industry, automotive industry dan macam-macam lagi untuk draft satu yang akan boleh diimplementasi dengan betul dan tidak menganiaya mana-mana pihak.
So tentu bukan mudah seperti yang telah dikongsikan oleh Cik Syamsul sendiri. Banyak perkara bukan sahaja daripada pengeluar pengedar tapi sehinggalah kepada pembeli. Mereka harus aware benda ni, sedar membeli ataupun mempunyai satu hak terhadap sesuatu kenderaan menjadi sebagai pemilik, penjual. Banyak perkara yang harus kita teliti kerana sesuatu perundangan seperti lemon law ni mungkin seronok untuk pengguna tapi kita harus memastikan perundangan ataupun dasar yang akan dibentuk dan dilaksanakan ini bukan sahaja dapat melindungi iaitu pengguna konsumer itu sendiri tapi dapat memastikan ia tidak menjejaskan hasil daripada pengeluar dan pengedar itu sendiri sehinggalah ia mencapai kepada pengguna itu menggunakannya bukan sahaja kalau kita lihat dapat melindungi dari pemasaran tapi kita dapat memastikan penggunaan otomotif yang lebih selamat pada masa akan datang dengan pelaksanaan lemon law ini. Tapi sudah tentu banyak perkara yang harus kita bincangkan pada masa akan datang tapi kita sudah mengakhiri sesi kita pada kali ini. Sekali lagi saya nak ucapkan terima kasih kepada Syamsul Yunus merupakan penganalisis otomotif dan setiap perbincangan ini akan kami rangkumkan dalam astrowani.com dan di semua platform digital AWANI. Jangan ke mana-mana, banyak lagi laporan yang akan kami bawakan selepas ini.
How you doing?
Love Upload Saluran 100 kembali.
Yo, what's up? Y'all got a problem?
Dengan lebih banyak jenaka untuk seisi keluarga.
I rasa kita ada masalah.
Bukan dia tak ada. Are you kidding?
Nikmati blockbuster hebat. Hiburan yang menerbitkan kegembiraan.
Kamu tu nelayan.
Hah? Aku nelayan?
Bukan.
Komedi tempatan.
A to the D to the N to the A.
Sitcom retro.
It makes me sick.
Filem animasi yang menggelitik jiwa. Laugh Out Loud di saluran 100. Stream bila-bila masa, di mana jua, sehingga 4 peranti.
Di dalam setiap berita yang dibawa, konteks amat penting. Kami sentiasa membawakan yang tergempar dan terkini. Pastikan Astro AWANI menjadi pilihan anda, tidak kira di mana sahaja anda berada.
Penyokong memberikan keyakinan. Manchester United memerlukannya untuk menewaskan Brighton. The Eagles tiada gentar. The Gunners sedia untuk bertahan. Inilah One for the Fans. Pertembungan paling sengit Premier League. Semuanya di sini. Secara langsung di Astro.
Gaza menjadi medan pembunuhan beramai-ramai dan penghapusan etnik yang sistematik terhadap penduduk Palestin dengan ratusan serangan udara dan darat menyasarkan kawasan kediaman, hospital, sekolah serta kem pelarian.
Polis Kuala Lumpur mengeluarkan 7,013 saman lalu lintas dalam tempoh 2 hari pelaksanaan penuh PUU.
Perbuatan menghidang atau menonjolkan minuman berasaskan arak dalam majlis rasmi kerajaan adalah bertentangan dengan hukum syarak, moral dan undang-undang negara.
All right, welcome to our international updates. We're going to start with US stocks that closed mixed with the Dow out front on Tuesday as a string of solid earnings lure investors to industrials and capital goods. Weakness in growth and microchip stocks pulled the tech-laden Nasdaq to a nominally lower close.
Third quarter earnings season has shifted into overdrive with corporate giants such as General Motors, GE Aerospace, 3M and Coca-Cola posting generally upbeat results. But with major US stock indexes hovering near record highs and valuations stretched, upbeat results alone could prove insufficient to sustain investor risk appetite.
I think the market's broadening out here a bit. We've seen earnings now from GM, for instance, and 3M today that have produced upside surprises. I think the market really is kind of eyeing value in the market right now, and the Mag 7 stocks, have kind of taken a bit of a respite here. So we're seeing a little bit of a broadening out. I think an expectation of continuation of rate cuts is also driving the market. That's going to play a big role here going forward. Don't fight the Fed. So I think right now what we're seeing here is earnings over 70 stocks in the S&P 500 have already reported. There's been an 86% beat on the earnings per share and an 84% beat on revenue. So earnings have been strong, and earnings will continue to drive the market.
So far, 78 of the companies in the S&P 500 have reported. Of those, 87% have beaten Wall Street expectations. Analysts currently foresee aggregate third quarter S&P 500 earnings growth of 9.2% year-on-year, more robust than their 8.8% estimate as it stood on October 1st, according to LSEG data. The S&P 500 rose 0.22 points to end at 6,735.35 points, while the Nasdaq Composite lost 36.88 points to 22,953.67. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 218.16 points to 46,924.74.
US President Donald Trump said he spoke with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday, with their conversation focused largely on trade. Trump added that energy was also part of the discussion, saying Modi assured him that India would be limiting its oil purchases from Russia. India and China are the two top buyers of Russian seaborne crude exports.
People gathered on behalf of all Americans. Let me also extend our warmest wishes to the people of India. I just spoke to your Prime Minister today. We had a great conversation. We talk about trade. We talk about a lot of things, but mostly the world of trade. He's very interested in that. Although we did talk a little while ago about let's have no wars with Pakistan. And I think the fact that trade was involved, I was able to talk about that. And we have no war with Pakistan and India, and that was a very, very good thing. But he's a great person, and he's become a great friend of mine over the years. In a few moments, we'll light the diya as a symbol of faith in the victory of light over darkness. It's a beautiful term, light over darkness. That's what it's all about. Well, we stand great, and the people of India, I love the people of India, and we're working on some great deals between our countries. I spoke to the Prime Minister Modi today, as I mentioned before, and we just have a very good relationship. And he's not going to buy much oil from Russia. He wants to see that war end as much as I do. He wants to see the war end with Russia, Ukraine. And as you know, they're not going to be buying too much oil. So they've cut it way back, and they're continuing to cut it way back. Faith in the victory of light over.
Hardline conservative Senator Takaichi pledged to build a strong Japan after being elected in parliamentary votes to become the country's first prime minister on Tuesday. In a first press conference, Takaichi, known as an advocate of expansionary fiscal and monetary policy, promised to work tirelessly to restore Japan's economic might.
The new Japanese leader also said she would deepen the country's relationship with the United States under President Donald Trump.
間もなくトランプ大統領の来日が予定をされておりますけれども、もしお会いできましたら、日米が直面する問題について率直な意見交換を通じて、首脳同士の信頼関係をまず深めていきたいなと思っております。それからAPEC、これも重要な地域枠組みでございます。首脳会議がございますので、ルールに基づく、自由で公正な経済秩序、この維持強化の重要性をしっかりと訴えてまいります。何としても、各国の首脳とお会いできる貴重な機会でございますので、私はすごく楽しみにしております。時間をかけて信頼関係を作って、そして日本からもどんどん提案をし、存在感を発揮し、やはり世界の真ん中で咲き誇る日本外交を取り戻したい、こういう強い決意でおります。
Takaichi has said defense and national security would be core pillars of any administration she led. A frequent visitor to Yasukuni War Shrine in Tokyo that some Asian neighbors, like China and South Korea, view as a symbol of wartime aggression, Takaichi has also called for a revision of Japan's post-war pacifist constitutions to recognize the existence of the nation's military forces.
U.S. President Donald Trump's threat this week to slap Colombia with tariffs over its drug policy marked a sharp escalation in his feud with a country that has long been one of Washington's closest Latin American allies. It was also a rejection of an established idea about countering the narcotics businesses that free trade can make legitimate exports more attractive than drug trafficking.
On Sunday, Trump said he would raise tariffs and stop financial aid for Bogota, and Colombia said on Monday it had recalled its ambassador from Washington. Most imports from Colombia to the U.S. currently face 10% tariff, the baseline level Trump has imposed on many countries. Trump also called leftist Colombia President Gustavo Petro an illegal drug dealer after Petro accused the U.S. of committing murder and said the U.S. had fired at a boat of Venezuela that belonged to a humble family, not a rebel group.
Señor Trump, que yo no apoye a los norteamericanos con el ejército colombiano para invadir Venezuela. No, señor. ¿A qué estúpido colombiano se le puede ocurrir ayudar a invadir donde están sus primos, sus sobrinos, su gente colombiana, que hay 4 millones, a que los maten como en Gaza?
Tensions between the U.S. and many countries in Latin America have been escalating for weeks as the American military has sharply increased its military presence in the southern Caribbean and struck vessels in international waters that it alleges to be carrying drugs without offering evidence. Head of Colombia risk analyst Sergio Guzman told Reuters on Monday that linking Petro to criminal drug trafficking activities seems to be Trump's way of legally justifying the tariffs that he would seek to impose on Colombia. Meanwhile, Jose Ignacio Lopez, who heads the ANIF economic think tank in Bogota, said businesses selling products most dependent on the U.S. market, including coffee, flowers, bananas, limes, and avocados, as well as livestock farmers, and oil producer could be particularly hard hit.
Uniform Tentera Darat Malaysia TADM bagi peserta program latihan khidmat negara tidak seharusnya menjadi isu hangat.
Jenayah penipuan pelaburan mencatatkan jumlah kerugian tertinggi pada tahun ini setakat 2 Februari lalu.
Kementerian Pendidikan memandang serius isu peningkatan trend penggunaan rokok elektronik.
Lembaga Lebuh Raya Malaysia LLM memperluaskan larangan kenderaan berat memasuki lebuh raya pada waktu puncak di beberapa jajaran terpilih di sekitar Lembah Kelam.
11. Just get my back if I ever need it.
Jenny's missing.
Please, find our daughter. This isn't just some kidnapping. This is human trafficking.
You ain't a cop. You're a working man.
That's right. Let's play. That's for slapping that woman. That woman was my wife. That's for slapping your wife.
A Working Man, Prime Video, stream kesemuanya dengan Astro.
Astro City develops a digital infrastructure designed as a thinking ecosystem using real-time data and artificial intelligence to manage its building, transport and services. For a closer look at the story, here's Amirul Aiman with the details.
Smart cities are no longer futuristic ideas. They are becoming living, connected systems powered by data, cloud infrastructure and artificial intelligence. At the heart of the transformation is Asbear City, an innovation ecosystem built by Russia's Asbear Group that integrates AI, finance and digital services into a single urban platform. To understand how technology is turning this concept into a functioning digital city, and what it takes to make intelligence part of everyday infrastructure. We are here joined by Evgeny Chipakov, Head of IT Services at SBS City. Sir, thank you so much for joining us. SBS City is described as a fully connected digital ecosystem. From your perspective, how do you turn that idea into reality, and how does IT architecture actually enable the city to think and respond in real time?
First of all, we started from scratch, and actually we designed our project in different fields, and IT is one of main parts of it. We made IT architecture for our services, and we developed some of services are allocated in our territory. Some of them are placed in like Amazon cloud infrastructure. Yeah, and it makes them more stable. And we develop such technologies like controlling and management system for all our buildings, for all our engineer systems.
And every smart city relies on data to function, but data also raises questions of trust and governance. How do you design systems that collect and analyze massive amounts of information while keeping citizens' data private and also secure?
First of all, we separate citizens' information and data and our engineering systems data. It's different in physical layer. First of all. Then we use a lot of practices, cybersecurity practices, and we design our systems with all these requirements, like some laws and some checklists, and a lot of software and equipment for this field.
And when so many services, from payments to public transport, depend on digital networks, reliability becomes critical as well. What have been the biggest lesson in keeping such a large ecosystem stable and also resilient as it scales?
Some lessons. Okay, the main lesson is do what really need. Do what people need, use experience from other areas, I think, and make all these services like for yourself, and then you will provide the best service. I think so.
And then looking ahead, how do you see SBS City evolving? What new technologies or collaborations could push your IT framework toward a smarter, more predictive model of urban management?
AI is first of all AI, and it may be used in different fields like smart cars, smart systems, analyzing and predicting some events or I don't know, behavior of our systems. I think it's the main integrations.
Thank you so much, sir, for your insights. From what we've seen, SBS City isn't just experimenting with technology, it's redefining how cities manage data, deliver services, and connect or interact with people. As digital ecosystem become the backbone of modern economies, the real challenge will be ensuring that progress remains secure, inclusive, and human-centered. From GITEX Global 2025 in Dubai World Trade Center, I'm Amirul Aiman and cameraman Matruzi for Astro AWANI.
Hi Dubai, the regional partner for Engino, uses robotics and virtual reality to make STEM education more accessible and engaging across the Emirates. In Dubai, the company transformed classroom learning through Engino's robotics and immersive technologies, helping children as young as 3 understand science and engineering through hands-on experiences. Here's Amirul Aiman for the full report.
Education is changing faster than ever, driven by artificial intelligence, immersive tools, and data that can personalize the way each student learns. At the heart of the transformation is Engino, an innovation hub that's reimagining how technology can make learning smarter, more inclusive and future ready. I'm speaking with Ashin Shaji, regional client partner from Hi Dubai, to understand how the company is reshaping the learning experience and what that means for the next generation of talent. Thank you so much for joining us. Engino positions itself as a catalyst for innovation and in education. What specific gap in the current learning ecosystem are you trying to fill, and how does the technology enable that change?
First of all, thank you for having us. So, basically, I am representing the company named Hi Dubai. We are operating in Middle East and we are the regional partner for Engino from Cyprus. So, Engino is one of the world-famous company, world-renowned company in the field of robotics and STEM learning. So, we have complete ecosystem that that teaches the students the concepts of robotics from the scratch to the advanced level. So our ecosystem contains software packages, textbooks, curriculum-based teaching, completely very well designed robotic, it's everything. So the kid will start to learn the engineering concept and the STEM concept from the age of 3, and we can scale it up to the age of 16 and above.
And then, AI is transforming how people learn, but also how educators teach as well. How does Engino use artificial intelligence to personalize education, and how do you balance data-driven learning with the human side of teaching?
It's a great question, because in the current AI generation, as you can see that all the schools, educational entities, all of them are, approaching AI as like a tool that should teach to the students. What we are doing with our Engino robotic kits is actually we are teaching not directly to the AI, we are teaching the skills that you should need to understand and to learn AI in the future. So before learning the code, you can't understand what is an artificial intelligence program means. So what we are teaching to the student is the basic critical thinking aptitude skill, and also how to program a small microchip, how to code a robot, all these things. That's what we are teaching the student. We are teaching them the basic concept. From there, the student can take it up to higher level programming. From there, they can learn all the high level AI coding and everything.
And many edtech solutions succeed with innovation but struggle with accessibility. How is Engino ensuring that new learning technologies remain inclusive, typically, especially for communities or schools with limited digital infrastructure?
So basically what we are doing in UAE especially, we will give the school the total supply of the equipments, the kits, the packages, everything what they need to set up an robotic lab. And basically, if the particular school, if they can't access it, for example, if the price component is high for them, we even have, as a partner for Engino, Hi Dubai is having an different package for them. Like we will provide them in a service model. Like we will bear the cost, and we will, we will implement it on the site in a subscription model. That also we can do. That's how it will reach even to the remote part of the United Arab Emirates or other part of the world. And the children in all age group and all economic background can have an access to this thing.
And finally, looking ahead, how do you see the classroom evolving over the next few decades? Will we still have traditional schools, or we are moving forward towards full hybrid, lifelong learning model powered by platforms like Engino?
I think both of them, or these are like, I can't say that this particular model is going to evolve and the rest is going into the backstage. I don't think so. All the model will evolve. Through our Engino kit, what you can do is that either if you are a part of school who implemented Engino as their STEM and robotic training center, they can learn from the school. At the same time, if you are doing for example, a student is doing homeschooling, they can buy our individual products from the online and they can learn it, or the parents can teach the student, because all of our kits is coming with full instructions and catalogs and everything. And we even give the software access, like for CAD software, for programming software, they will get access from the catalog itself. So they can learn it by themselves, or if they are studying in a school where the Engino lab is there, they can learn from the school also. We are open to any solution. And as a part of Hi Dubai, we are giving augmented and virtual reality immersive training also for school students. We are already successfully implemented a couple of schools in UAE itself, and the response is very, very good, because as we can see from the student and from the teacher side itself, for a conventional education system, they need maybe 5 days or 5 sessions or 6 sessions to teach a complicated concept, for example, about human heart. But if you are delivering the content through an immersive reality, for example, through a VR headset, they need only 5 minutes to understand the concept. We tested it, we proved it, and that's how the response we are getting from the market also.
Thank you so much, Ashin, for your insight. As technology continues to redefine industries and education remains foundation for all progress, what companies like Hi Dubai show us is that innovation in classrooms isn't just about devices or apps. It's about empowering learners, educators, and entire communities to adapt to a world that never stops evolving. From GITEX Global 2025 in Dubai, I'm Amirul Aiman and cameraman Matruzi for Astro AWANI.
And MangoBot says its AI-powered robots are created to assist, not replace people, bringing empathy, learning and trust to every human-machine interaction. In Dubai, founder and CEO Karim Abu Ararib believes robots should enhance everyday life by learning, adapting and connecting naturally with humans. To see how MangoBot is redefining the role of robotics in daily life, here's Amirul's Aiman with the report.
Artificial intelligence is moving beyond code and screens. It's taking human forms. Here at GITEX Global 2025 in Dubai, robotics company MangoBot is presenting humanoids machined, powered by generative AI, designed to see, speak, and respond like us. I will speak to Karim, founder and CEO at MangoBot, to understand how they are building robots that not only work intelligently, but also communicate and connect like humans. Karim, thank you so much for joining us. Robots have been around for decades, but few have managed to feel human. What is the core idea behind MangoBot? Are you trying to build machines that can replace human labor, or ones that amplify human capability?
First of all, thank you for having me, and I would like to say that I believe that humans will still remain the drivers and robots will just be there to assist them. So we specialize in interactive, immersive and self-learning autonomous robotics. We have a line between of humanoids as of this one, along with a smaller version. We have some dog robots and data collection robots as well.
And MangoBot combines robotics with generative AI. How does that change the way robots interact with people? What can your system now understand or express that wasn't possible before?
So as of now, our system is tailor-made to you and you in specific. So I can give you an example. If you are having a MangoBot in your house and you drink a double espresso, and I have a cappuccino and a MangoBot at my house. If we never met and you came over to my house to have a coffee, we just need to tell it to have 2 coffees, and it will bring yours to your liking and me to my liking with facial recognition.
And then human-machine relationships depends on trust. How do you design robots that people actually want to engage with, and especially in sensitive spaces like perhaps classroom, hospitals, or even customer service?
So I believe the first step to this is introducing it in a friendly manner. As you can see over here at GITEX, we have the robots doing dances, interacting with people, and overall getting people used to it and getting the feel. As you can see, it's very friendly with everyone. So far, no incidents, thank God, and hopefully it remains that way.
Okay, and now finally, Karim, as robots become more intelligent and more present in daily life, what do you think the right balance looks like between automation and also human touch?
So I believe that humans are capable of doing much bigger things than just sitting down in a factory, for example, and doing the same task over and over again. I think that humans are there to expand and make the world grow and innovate, while robots can replace that, and it also builds a lot of jobs and creates opportunities, building a workforce in a manner that humans are more likely to accomplish rather than just doing the same tasks over and over again.
Thank you very much, Karim. Now, what we're seeing with MangoBot is more than a technical milestone. It's a shift of how we define interaction itself. As robots gain intelligence and empathy, the real question becomes how humanity to choose to use that power to replace or to enhance us. From GITEX Global 2025 in Dubai, I'm Amirul Aiman and cameraman Matruzi for Astro AWANI.
Chinese technology firm Aridge introduces the land aircraft carrier, a hybrid vehicle that combines road and air capabilities. The innovation marks a major step forward in personal air mobility. For the full report, here's Amirul Aiman.
Flying cars have long existed as a concept, but the technology is finally taking shape. Here at GITEX Global 2025, Xpeng's eVTOL division Aridge is showcasing the land aircraft carrier, a dual-mode vehicle that can both drive and also fly. It's one of the most talked about innovations here, marking a bold step towards a new era of urban air mobility. So we'll hear from Yu Qingzhou, staff member at Aridge, to understand how this technology works and what it means for the future of transportation.
在我身后的就是我们陆地航母的飞行器的部分。那么陆地航母是分为两个部分，一个是车体，那在它的后备舱呢是会摆放这样的一个飞行器。那么它能够解决的是，它可以在路上开，同时呢，它也能够在释放出飞行体的时候，在天上进行一个飞行。那它的整个构型呢，它是其实满足了一个飞行器有3大痛点，就是一个是转移的问题，然后这个充电的问题，还有这个移动的这样的问题。那么这个呢，就是其实在我们的这个陆地航母上面是很好的体现。它跟纯飞行的飞行器不一样，纯飞的飞机呢，它是一般都需要在一个通用的机场，纯飞的飞行器呢，它是只能在飞机场或者是一些通用的机场进行一个飞行，它是纯飞的。那么呢，我们的飞行器呢，它是平时呢，它是可以停放在我们的车体的后备舱里。那在你想要去飞的时候呢，开到一个适合的位置，然后那里有空域，然后释放出来，进行一个飞行。那它的这个使用场景和使用的特点都是不一样的。那么在飞行和汽车这样的人才呢，在我们这么多年的发展过程当中，它进行了很好的融合。那在我们在生产陆地航母的过程当中呢，我们是用造车的逻辑去造飞机。那在我们的这个现代化流水线的量产工厂呢，也已经竣工了。那在接下来的1个月呢，我们的飞行器呢就会在我们的流水线工厂进行生产。那它的年产值呢是有1万台。那这种呢，就是在这种eVTOL 的行业都是非常先进、非常领先的。我们的陆地航母呢，因为它其实是非常符合个人去使用这样子的一个飞行汽车，它的这个车体呢是可以停到你的地库里面的。那在合适的场景下呢，我们是可以把飞机从这个车体的后备舱进行分离，然后在一个能够满足空域的条件下进行飞行。那么首先呢，我们能够想到的是，它可以满足个人的飞行体验，也就是能够让更多人感受到飞行的乐趣。那同时呢，它也有公共服务的特性，比如在消防啊、救援啊这样的情形下，也是可以满足公共场景的使用。我们来看一下这个飞行器。那大家呢，其实关注于我们的陆地航母，更关心的呢就是它的飞行器的飞行安全问题。那么在这个飞机上，我们做了非常多的冗余设计。我们首先可以看到这个桨叶，那我们看到是有6个桨叶。那么这6个桨叶呢，其实在它，比如说它4个桨的时候，它已经可以安全飞行。但我们制造了6个桨，就是在它即使停到2个桨的情况下呢，也能够进行安全飞行。那同时在飞行汽车的大脑，也是它的这个飞控系统上面，我们做了3套的这个飞控系统，它们都是异构的。那么在一个飞行系统宕机的情况下，都是可以微秒级的接管。那在这个飞行安全上面是有很好的保证。那同时在这个电池方面，我们也是有2套电池的备份，所以在飞行上面你可以非常的安全和安心。
The idea of personalized air mobility is no longer confined to science fiction. It's moving steadily towards engineering reality. And as companies like Aridge push the limits of design and safety, the decade could see the line between road and sky begin to disappear. From GITEX Global 2025 in Dubai, I'm Aiman and cameraman Matruzi for Astro AWANI.
At that time, one incident happened in a firecracker factory in my district. Because of the accident in the firecracker factory, 3 migrant workers, including child labor, lose their life. They died. If the people come from the most excluded communities, like the tribal community or other vulnerable groups, they are not able to negotiate with the employer. Negotiation about the working hours, about the wages, and many other things. And because of that vulnerability, sometimes they force into the forced labor practices, sometimes they fall into the trap of trafficking or child labor or any other kind of like situation. I was also very young, I was 17. So I know that pain, and I also come from an excluded community. So I have a lived experience. In the last 25, 26 years, I always try to work with the most excluded or invisible communities, and basically how we can protect them and how we can create a safeguard for these kind of like the communities. Currently, we are supporting more than 7 million households across South Asia and Southeast Asia. Globally, we have about 1 billion migrant workers. About 75% people migrating within their countries, and about 25% people are migrating from one country to other country for job, livelihood, or employment opportunity. But most of the time, these people are not able to get the social security or protection. Particularly in the last couple of years, climate change contributed a lot to increase more challenges for the rural community or vulnerable communities. In many places in the world, people are losing their livelihood and the health-related crisis because of the air quality, drought, flood, unseasonal rain, or cyclone. These are the 6 big reasons contributing a lot to increase the difficulty or vulnerability in the life of migrant community.
We can use it in women's health, supplements, infant nutrition, and there's a wide variety of other applications that not a lot of people know about. For example, it's being used as a preservative for meat because of its antimicrobial properties. It's also been used as to help fight plant diseases like potato blight or olive tree diseases. Now we are able to produce it without the reliance on animal milk, so we can really expand the use of lactoferrin. What we do is we get microbes like yeast or fungi. In our case, it's a yeast chassis, and we will code DNA instructions into the yeast. The yeast will then ingest sugar and pump out the animal protein just like how a cow would, but without having to go through the whole cow. After that, there is a separation process where we separate the protein out of the fermentation broth and we dry the powder. And what comes out is a pink powder. We call it pink gold because of the high value properties and expensive costs it is today. ingredient by ingredient, we want to continue fortifying different food products, different supplements, and supporting human health.
First sounds like you're dancing somewhere at a party, but then you're hearing about two-factor authentication. You're hearing about password length and safety. People are spending hours scrolling through their phones on social media. Why aren't we making cybersecurity awareness something so enjoyable and something in little bits that's actionable that people can take per day to change and improve their security posture?
Protect your email, different password for everything. You download crack software for free. When you know, say my guy, you for feed pay. This is risky.
My mother was a victim of cybercrime, and it just took a phone call from someone pretending to be from her bank, and then that was it all. And I saw secondhand, very distressing, and how really bad that experience could be. And I want less and less older people to be victims of cybercrime.
Not only is it hard for people to talk about money, but when culturally we talk about money, we don't really do it in a very healthy way. Often, if money is even brought up in conversation, I say that it's usually done to compare or to complain, but we don't necessarily talk about it in a way that's about, how do we improve the level of well-being that we feel. Depending on the statistic you look at, whether it's 40% or 60% of people around the world are worried about meeting their day-to-day expenditures. This is systemically something that everyone is struggling with en masse, and so please don't feel like it's your fault. Even though you think that providing access to financial benefits, providing access to financial education is sufficient to support the financial well-being of an individual, we find that oftentimes there's something that's still needed beyond just education. There's a sense of fear, or there's something that's keeping someone from taking action. We set up these breakout discussions where you meet with different people from around the world. You have these one-on-one dialogues, and we design these exercises essentially to make it easier for you to talk about money. One thing that comes out as a consistent theme through these conversations has been that there have been peaks and valleys, and you've always managed to make it through. And so if you're in that difficult position now, if you made it through before, you'll make it through again.
ada yang perdebatan bahawa GST perlu dikembalikan semula kerana ada yang mempertikaikan bahawa SST itu tidak efektif.
Isu buruh kanak-kanak bukan sahaja dalam bentuk fizikal tetapi juga bentuk moden yang lebih licik dan juga terselindung.
Kita tengok buruh kanak-kanak dan ada juga buruh paksa kanak-kanak.
Kumpulan FB dikenali sebagai grup budak-budak sekolah rendah yang didakwa menyebarkan gambar remaja perempuan tidak senonoh telah pun ditutup.
Mungkin ini permulaan yang terbaik untuk aku fikir orang.
Menebus kesilapan lalu.
Sedap ke Papa?
Sejak bila kau pandai masak ni, Asli?
Sebelum dia kahwin dengan Nora, aku nak dia ceraikan kau dulu.
Penuh dugaan.
Jangan tunduk pada orang yang nak tengok si hancur.
Kau main dekat luar dengan dia, aku dalam kandang mabuk kan?
Tak tahu.
Kalau kau nak rosak, kau nak hancur seseorang. Kau hancur seseorang, kau tak hei aku sekali lah.
Mutiara dalam debuan kamus di Astro Ria dan Astro Go.
Malaysia perlu bergerak daripada sekadar menjadi pusat pembuatan kepada sebuah negara pencipta teknologi chip sendiri yang mampu memberi nilai tambah lebih tinggi kepada dunia. Kerajaan bersetuju untuk mempertimbangkan agar pengusaha bot di Sabah dan Sarawak turut layak menerima subsidi petrol RON 95. Sabah kini memiliki 2 tapak rizab biosfera susulan pengiktirafan diberikan kepada kinabatangan oleh UNESCO.
Asia tumpuan utama dunia. Dengan ekonomi yang semakin rancak, pembangunan lestari dan tenaga boleh diperbaharui, apakah pula impak kecerdasan buatan AI dalam perkembangan teknologi dan masa depan pekerjaan? Kami mendalami setiap berita dan cerita. Saksikan diskusi, dialog dan laporan khas di Agenda AWANI Asia.